Black culture and influence has turned athleisure into a $70 billion business, but only a handful of Black designers are benefiting from the trend. According to Zippia.com, 57% of sneaker designers are white, 17% are Asian, 13% are Hispanic or Latino, and only 7.5% are Black. An employee-led New Balance community decided to focus on increasing representation and amplifying Black voices inside the company and throughout the footwear industry. Black Souls worked together with streetwear pioneer Joe Freshgoods on a number of initiatives, from designing the footwear and apparel to the communication surrounding the campaign. Yaron White, Vice President of Global Lifestyle and Basketball at New Balance, walked me through the development and the marketing of the initiative. Creating real systemic change is a continuous journey that requires us to always keep taking steps forward, no matter how big or how small. This is the work in progress.
If you think about 2 years ago, every time we turned on the TV, there was someone who looked like us that was being killed. As I started to look at our community of Black employees, we wanted to bring in someone who could be inspiring, but not just inspirational from hey, I can get up in front of you and tell you what you want to hear. We knew that Joe was going to be inspirational through his life's experiences because he was experiencing a lot of the same things that we were experiencing. I have found a unique difference in our approach to working with people, right? We work with them by name, not by brand. We make sure that they're aligned with our purpose and value, and that we have an eye on community.
Can you tell us more about that and the origin story of that group?
I think, the Black employees at New Balance really stepped up, and I honestly take no credit for it, because there was a subset of employees who got together and said, ultimately they raised the flag and they said, we're asking to be seen and we need to be heard. And ultimately what came out of that was New Balance's first ARG, or Associate Resource Group. And ultimately, we had the goal of creating a diverse and exclusive workplace for Black employees and people of color by empowering that community both internally and externally. And for us, it's been a place for us to grow, for us to cry, for us to fellowship, but ultimately hold ourselves and hold the company accountable to creating a better place for Black employees to work and live and thrive in.
When you take all the things you just said and you kind of fan that vision out to the industry at large, what successes have you seen and what work still needs to be done when it comes to bridging the gap and inclusion?
You have to continue to give truth to power. When the president of the company asked me what he can do for me, I'm very specific about those things, because I want to make sure that he understands that there are things that can be done to continue to move us forward as a people and as a company. I also think that it's really important to understand that anytime you have an opportunity to become and be more diverse, right? It's at a benefit to you, it's at a benefit to your team, and it's at a benefit to your organization. And so ultimately, I want to make sure, I'm not satisfied with being the only Black vice president of the company. 6 weeks ago, we had another Black vice president. A year from now, when I talk to you, I want to have 4. And we want to continue to have that representation in a room so that it's not just one, but it's of many.
I caught up with Global Collaborations and Energy Product Manager Kevin Trotman, who works on a number of street culture projects at New Balance, including Conversations Amongst Us.
For us, it was something where it was really a broad title, Conversations Amongst Us. It ties into a lot of different things. A lot of it, though, it kind of comes back to the main thing of community and just the Black experience. And kind of throughout the video and the campaign, you'll see there's a lot of little tidbits. It's a lot of if you know moments. Joe Freshgoods is so good at kind of creating those moments for people. And so that's kind of how we really wanted to take it this year. And so we think it was pretty successful. Joe was able to hit on a lot of those messages. And for us as a brand, it's us taking his vision and amplifying it. Consumers can really see through brands and really see through messaging. And so it has to come from a place of realness, because if it doesn't, consumers will be able to sniff it out super easy. So it's this kind of dichotomy of Joe doing him and us being able to amplify what he does.
You know, the word community gets thrown around a lot when it comes to inclusionary efforts, if you want to call it that. And I feel like this really did a great job of creating community, inspiring, future designers, bringing people closer together. Give us a taste of some of the components.
Honestly, Black Souls, our internal ERG, what we really take seriously is fostering and really amplifying the voices internally. And with that, we're able to kind of really show that there's a lot of trajectory that can happen, upward trajectory that can happen for people that look like us within the company. So Black Souls is really a community that we hold ourselves accountable to, not only fostering kind of, like I said, upward mobility within the company, but also taking time out to make sure that we're also helping youth that that want to get in, but they don't understand how. There's so many different parts of the timeline that have to happen in order to get the shoe from a brief to the actual shelves. But, growing up, kids like us don't really know that. And, we only, historically, we look up to the athletes and the entertainers, right? And we don't think about what goes on behind those doors. One of the main things that we want to do is foster that community and make kids that look like us understand that there is a place for them in the industry.
I think Black Souls as like an ERG, an employee resource group, is incredibly well done. I mean, it just really shows you the power of what happens when you put the brand promise in the hands of a community of folks that look and talk and have the similar cultural experience, and they can bring that product and that experience and that collaborative know-how into a really valuable product line. And it was done in a stellar way.